What's up, everybody? It's Chad Kalhagen. I'm doing some work here on Christmas Day. I just kind of wanted to make a vlog, basically just kind of showing what my work from home setup is, in case anybody was wondering about that. But my setup is pretty basic. Mostly just pretty much consists of my actual laptop. And got a wireless mouse, and I've got, either a set of earbuds or I've got a couple other pairs of headphones that I switch back and forth between. But that's pretty much it. Like right now, today, I'm kind of set up here at the dining room table. But a lot of times, I've got the other room that I got my desk at, but I don't really have to be at the desk to do my work. And then when I am working, I've got I've generally got like my work window here, and then I'll have like my music playlist over here. And then if I'm not listening to music, I will I need a new battery in this wireless mouse. If I'm not listening to music, this thing's really... Alright, I'll use the trackpad. If I'm not listening to music, I'll pull up like a video in the same part of the screen there, and I'll it's... For me, I'm able to get away with watching videos when I work because I'm able to keep the video on the screen. I don't have as much luck as if I'm sitting here using the laptop and then I'm kind of looking up or wherever the TV is. If I'm watching like a TV in the background, I find myself getting a lot more distracted in that scenario. So the best configuration for me, as often as possible, I mean, unless there's like a football game or something I really want to see on and I've got to get my work done, then I can kind of work around that. But for the most part, I'm going to be either listening to a music playlist or getting a video queued up. That's pretty much it. I mean, I can work anywhere as long as I have an internet connection, so I could work like in a restaurant like McDonald's, just Starbucks, wherever. Especially if I have my headphones, and then, regardless of what's happening around me, I can just kind of put the earbuds in and then kind of minimize distractions. I can really zero in. And I'm sure a lot of people are probably like, well, aren't you getting distracted by your music and your videos and stuff? Well, as long as it's happening right here on my screen, just all in my own little bubble that I'm able to create, it's really not a big deal. For me, mentally, to prepare to work, I have to, as weird as it probably seems or kind of sounds like, I have to, if I'm going to listen to music, it has to be music that I'm specifically in the mood for. Like sometimes there would be like, okay, I think I'm in the mood for this type of music, where I put it on. If I'm just not feeling it, to be productive and get my work done, it's like, oh no, that's not going to work, so then I'll find something else. Or same with like a video. It's like, I'm really in the mood for this movie, or an episode of this TV show, so I've got my hard drive's pretty full, and then I've got some external hard drives full of all kinds of music, all kinds of TV shows, movies and stuff. And for me, it's a pretty delicate balance of just trying to, just like anybody, when you're trying to do your work, you just got to try to figure out what works for you, and this is what works for me. And some stuff I'll be like, yeah, I'm really in the mood for this, especially if it's a video, but it's like, what, for some videos, I find myself spending too much time watching the video and not enough time on the work, because obviously the video is more of like a secondary thing, as opposed to, like if you're not working, you're just chilling and you're watching whatever you're watching. So sometimes I'll have to switch to video because I need to find something where, for example, a perfect thing to watch while you're working is, especially a movie that you've seen before, you're really familiar with, so you can go off of the audio, the dialogue, and you can kind of picture what's happening without having to look over as often. because you've seen it before and you know what's happening, so you're not going to get sucked into the storyline or whatever. So that's what works best for me. I'm sure it's different for everybody. And then, you know, obviously other people who work from home might need more stuff. Some people would need a phone. Some people even need a landline, depending on what their job is. Some people might need a printer, fax machine, whatever. But for me, luckily, I can just have the very bare minimum computer setup. You know, and I can get by with the trackpad. And a lot of times I do use the trackpad. I just prefer the mouse. But as ironically enough, of course, right when I went to film this video, my battery decided to go dead. So I just replaced the battery. But when I go out, if I'm going to use the mouse, I'm usually pretty good about remembering to bring a spare battery so I can keep it fresh, make sure it's not going dead. Now this guy right here is something we just recently found while we were out. It was I think it was some kind of like a Christmas festival thing that we had gone to, and they had some vendors there and they were selling these awesome, you know, when they take those old metal parts that are just sitting around and they repurpose them into something else. This is a snail. That's pretty sweet. That was a good find. They didn't hardly want anything for it. I think it was only like maybe, I want to say it was like $8 or $10. It's really cheap. So I was like, you know, we had to pick that up. That was a no-brainer. There were a couple other things that we had to choose from, but it was a pretty easy decision. He was the coolest thing they had. Really unique piece. And since it's Christmas, I wanted to treat all of you to a little Christmas jingle here. Oh, come all ye faithful. No, I'm just kidding.